Hello everyone, welcome back to Humble Acres. My name is Jordan and today we are going to be clearing land. So the last video was, I was gonna do this in the video, but then I broke my tractor as you probably saw in the last video. But today I'm gonna actually show you what I'm doing and how I'm clearing this land way more efficiently than I have been in the past. Yeah, as you could see in the drone footage at the beginning there's quite a bit to clear, but I'm pretty determined to try to get this done this fall. I'm gonna try my hardest. I have like the next week that I can work on it pretty much every day. Not quite all day, but most of the day. So I'm just gonna be out here as long as my tractor is not broke and things are going smoothly. I'm gonna be here. Got the good old Kubota here fixed up, so should be ready to go. I'm gonna start clearing trees. So I'll show you what I'm doing. So you can see that's pretty much what we're doing. We're pushing them over as far as we can, and then I'm just coming back with the stump grinder and cutting the bases off. This one I need to get a little lower, but I just wanted to do it real quick just to show you. But that seems to be the best route. Some of the trees will completely uproot. This one I probably would have pushed more, but I kind of wanted just to demonstrate cutting it off. This one's already uprooting, but I think it's hitting this tree back here, and that's what's kind of blocking it. But yeah, a lot of them were actually uprooting, so that was actually really nice to see. I have these over here that I need to clean up, but this is where I broke my tractor, so yep. So there's plenty to do, so I'm gonna get to work and put you guys up in the drone, and I hope you enjoy. Alright, so I was picking up these branches here, or these trees I guess, and I turned and came over here, which there's nothing there, and all of a sudden there's just a huge spray of hydraulic fluid out the side here, just like a big mist, and everything here is soaking. You can see it's like puddled up in there. Yeah, it just sprayed everywhere, and I was looking around. I was first thinking the hoses for the third function were probably the problem, but those are fine. All of these hoses right here are completely fine. Like, they're all pretty much protected. So I was trying to figure out where it came from, so I turned it back on, and it turns out underneath there, it's gonna be really hard to see. So hopefully you can see. But so these are the third function hoses here, and you can see we have a drip coming right from this bolt here. And if I wipe it all up, it just instantly comes back. And well, I guess, yeah, there it is. And so I was looking where that was, and it looks like it's just this bolt right here that holds this hard line on. And you can see the paint around the hard line is a little like cracked, I guess you could say. So I don't know if I hit something or what, but I have no idea why this is leaking. It doesn't make any sense to me. I've been super careful about like watching for stumps and sticks and everything because I didn't want to, you know, ruin something else. But I'm honestly kind of wondering if it was just loose and it finally gave way or something. But that's definitely the problem. I've wiped all the other stuff off and nothing else is getting wet again, and this is the only thing. So, and when I turned it on, you could see like a spray mist like up above there, like the top of the line was leaking. So I'm just gonna tighten this and hopefully it's fixed. But I'm super low on hydraulic fluid now. So hopefully I have enough to fill it back up, but I really don't think I do. So I'm gonna tighten this and then go try to find some fluid and we'll go from there, I guess. The metal line is cracked in half. So my extravaganza of working solid every day for a week is kind of down the drain, because I called my Kubota dealership local here and they said it would take 3 days to get that line in. But I also have K-Tech insurance, and the parts guy I talked to had never heard of that before, but he did say he was fairly new, so alright. But the line, I guess, was $240, $45, $245, something like that. I think I have a deductible on my insurance for like $100, so it'll still save me some money, but problem is you can't start it because all the fluid just drains out of it. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. So that line is the high pressure line going to the steering. So yeah, you can't steer it. It keeps draining all the fluid out. It just doesn't stop. So that's good. I guess I could show you what I got out of there. So I tried to tighten it and that just made it leak more. You can see the line right there. It's off and kind of just sitting there. If I can touch it there. Just kind of sitting there. And then, yeah, it had a banjo bolt in it, which is right here. And then I tried tightening it, and when I tried tightening it, it just cracked more and it was just gushing so much fluid out. And then there was also a spring and a detent in there, or whatever they want to call it. I think they call it a poppet, is what he said on the phone. So it's like a pressure relief thing, and those are in the bottom of here. That fluid is not the cleanest, but yeah, those are in there. I'm not going to grab them out of there right now. So yeah, that's where we're at there. So as for right now, he said he was going to talk to somebody in the shop, I guess, or one of the mechanics, and ask them about the K-Tech insurance, which doesn't make any sense to me. But I'm assuming going through the K-Tech insurance is going to take even longer because they're going to want their service guys to fix it. But I would assume they're going to want the tractor there. I guess they need to be in charge of picking it up then and dealing with that, because I don't know what I'm going to do. I honestly don't know if this would fit on, it would fit on my trailer, but I don't know if it'd be over the weight limit or not. And it'd be really hard to get on there because you can't steer it and you can't really take the loader off. Like, it's just, what a nightmare. I didn't hit that though. I don't know if that happened the same time I was doing, like, I broke the other stuff, because that was also on the power steering pump on the front, but it was the other line. It was the low pressure line. But I had that stick way up in the front here. It wasn't way in the back, and that line that's in the back is protected by pretty much everything. It goes up and over that, and then it comes up through this thing, this mount for the loader here, and then it's this line right here. You can see it's loose, and then it goes up in the front and then down and then right into the pump. So I have no idea how that would have cracked. And when I tried tightening it while it was on there, but nothing, or no, I tried tightening it while it was on there, and as soon as I got to turn to tighten it, it just started gushing because the crack is right at the fitting. I truly don't know how it happened. I really don't. It makes no sense to me because I was being very cautious about not running over anything because I did not want to break the tractor right now on the first day of my week of trying to get stuff done. Even new tractors can break, apparently. Who would have thought? So I'm kind of rambling now. I don't really have any other way to do anything, so I guess I'll see you when I get things fixed or I figure out something else. So it is the next morning. Had some time to think on what I'm gonna do here. I talked to another service guy at Kubota at the Kubota dealership, and the KTAC insurance, you actually have to file a claim yourself. It doesn't have anything to do with the dealership. You file the claim, and then KTAC will actually talk to the dealership for you, get a quote, all that. They'll get everything set up for you. But the problem is the line that is broken is $250, well, $245 something, whatever, $250, and my deductible on the insurance is $250. So technically speaking, I probably could go through KTAC, pay my deductible. They'd come out, pick the tractor up, take it to the dealer, they'd do everything, get it fixed, fill it with fluid, get everything back to brand new again, and it would only cost me $250. The problem with that is it can take a while to do that, and I really don't want to waste time because I really want to work on this and get this done. Either way, they're not going to be able to get the line until Tuesday. They can order it on Monday, they can get it overnight, shipped there, get it Tuesday, but he said it probably wouldn't be till the end of next week by the time they get it all put on and done. So what I'm going to do today, I was talking to the guy on the phone at Kubota, and he was saying it is a steel line, and he's heard of people either brazing them or welding them back together. He said it can be very difficult because it's a soft metal and it's very thin. But if you're skilled enough, you can do it. So what I'm going to try to do is take it off of there, which I have no idea how difficult it is to get off. We may have to take the loader brackets off of the tractor, so that'll be fun. But I'm going to take the line off myself and see if either I or a shop close here can get it welded up for me. So that's the plan right now, but we need to get it back over to my garage because I do not want to have to work on it out in the field out here. I was able to download a service manual off the internet last night for free. I found out that the steering system is really weird. So there is a steering shaft going from the steering wheel all the way down to the front, but it doesn't hook up to the steering rack like you would think. It just hooks up to that pump, and then there's two lines coming off that pump to a hydraulic cylinder that's on the front tie rod. So there's no direct connection between the front wheels and that steering wheel. It's hydraulically connected, which I was wondering, why did they waste their time with that shaft going all the way to the front when they could just put that pump up right next to the steering wheel and then just run two hydraulic lines down to the rack. They could have gotten rid of all of that steering shaft then. It doesn't make any sense to me, but I'm sure there's a reason why they did it. But it is basically exactly what I thought though. But there is a steering shaft all the way to the front for some stupid reason, so. I managed to get the loader up. I did have to start it up just to make it come up a little bit. But other than that, it's off the tractor. So I have the range selector in neutral, so it should just roll freely now. So I'm just going to pull it backwards, hope for the best. I was able to steer it. There must still be enough hydraulic fluid in that pump in the front, or the motor in the front, whatever you want to call it, the hydraulic pump, so I could still steer it. So yeah, so the wheels are straight now, so I'm just going to pull it backwards and hopefully it'll clear the loader and everything. Should have put some jacks under the back, but whatever. It's probably a lot of weight for that trailer. I mean, we're not taking it on the road, so. Well, let's get it down to the house and get it off of there and into the garage. We're just gonna see what happens here. It's not in gear, so should be able to take the brake off and it'll roll ever so slowly. The problem is the steering does not work very good. Like you can't really steer. As you can see, it barely does anything, so yeah, that's gonna be a challenge. And it's kind of just stopped now. So we're probably gonna have to get the 4Runner and just push it in there, because yeah, I don't think we're gonna make it. So we should be able to, I'm sure we'll be fine. Any moment now. There we go. Contact. Like going pretty good. We're probably gonna need to straighten it out a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, we need to straighten it quite a bit. Hopefully. Nothing's really happening. It's kind of doing something. I think all the fluid's gone. I really hope I'm not ruining something by doing that. I wish I had somebody else here. That would be really handy. Ow! Alright, that's fine. Sure, that's fine. Alright, let's see. Yeah, we need to turn it more. Just does not want to turn. Let's say right there is where we want them. Yeah, let's try that. Alright. Hopefully I haven't got you motion sick. Oh yeah, we're doing good now. As long as we don't hit the garage, we'll be fine. Are we gonna hit? No. Without the loader on there, the back actually is a lot lower, so that's good. We're probably in right there. Oh yeah, plenty far. It looks like we got plenty of room to work around it too, so that's good. We should be working on this side, so I want to leave a lot of room over here, so that looks good. Let's put the brake on and we'll be good to go. Alright, well, I think the first thing we need to do is unbolt the line on both ends. That side I know how to do. This one's gonna be a little trickier. Perfect. Yeah, that came loose. I'm pretty sure it's because these ends are not actually hooks. So I'm gonna make them hooks, and then hopefully that'll actually stay on a little better. But yeah, I guess I really don't even need the hood popped up, but I do know this line comes down through the top here. Pretty sure that's it right there. Yeah, that's it right there. So I'm pretty worried how much of this is gonna have to come off. I got the line disconnected on both ends. I pulled this off. I can probably just set this over here, out of the way. So yeah, it's completely loose. You can grab it and move around, but it's not moving much. So the next thing I'm gonna do is take this shield off here. It's definitely gonna be in the way. And I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to take that loader mount off of there, or at least loosen it. Pretty easy to take off. There we go. Oh, I also wanted to show, I mentioned before that I found a service manual for this online, and it was a free download. I actually might put a link to that in the description, so you can go download that if you want. I'm not affiliated with the website in any way. It is captured on this bracket here, so we need to take that off. So that looks like another 12 millimeter right there. It's just a little clip that's holding these two lines together. Probably just be able to take that whole bracket off. Yeah, it's just two halves. So looks like that's actually put on there before it's painted, because like underneath all of that is not painted. Even the line's not painted under there. That's interesting. How much more? Give this quite a bit more. We can pull it out at least some now, so we're getting better. Even taking the loader bracket off, I don't think we'll be able to pull it forward far enough to be able to get the back out. But if we take all of this up or loose and be able to lift it up, we might be able to get the front out, and then we can probably fish the back out. Honestly, we might end up having to do both. I don't really know. I'm gonna start taking the front apart though and see where that gets us, because I think we're gonna have to do that one way or another. So, time lapse. I got pretty much all the brackets that were connected to this front portion off. Now I think I can lift this up. Okay, the radiator didn't come with it, but definitely loose, so that's good. The only reason I can't take it off is I don't want to undo the oil lines. I mean, I probably could. Like this one would be easy. It looks like it's low pressure. This one is probably higher pressure. I don't know which one goes to where though. Like, I don't know which one is for what, but this should also be loose. Yeah, and I undid the fan as well from the engine. So, I mean, I can lift up this whole side now and look underneath there. So, I'm gonna try to leave all the lines connected as much as possible, because there's just less of a chance of me having to redo all the fluids and stuff too. It's really, honestly, very simple. Everything so far has either been a 12 or a 10 millimeter, so I like to see that. And we're leaking from this front line here. Put a towel there. Kind of absorb that up. Alright, this is all loose, so it'd be nice if we could lift that line out of there, but the problem is we can't. All of this stuff, which this is just an air line, so that we can pull off easy enough. That's a fuel line. These are electrical. That one I can unplug easy. That one I can unplug easy. This one is the main harness, so not as easy. this end is a plug there, and a plug there. Oh, no, not plug there. Plug there, okay. And then this goes to a plug here. So I could unplug all of those, get that out of the way. Or I guess I don't really, I only need to unplug this one, because that's the only one that's on the wrong side of it. So let's just do that. Alright, so that one's out of the way. So that was the only one that was there. This fuel line is definitely going to be in the way. This air line is out of the way. So this fuel one looks like it's the only one that's actually around it. Just a little bracket that holds the hoses down. So now those hoses are free. So yeah, I can move those around nice now, so that's good. Just a little shield. It's going to allow the radiator hose on this side to move more freely, so. And this, yeah, we can't really move that much more, but we should be able to pick up the radiator and move it over. Yeah, that hose is now in the way, and it's hitting on, looks like probably EGR junk. But, oh, that's a lot more out of the way though. Should be right. Not a lot of high pressure there at least, so that's good. Definitely have fuel though. I really don't want diesel all over everything. This good thing is this is going into the filter, so shouldn't have to worry about contamination too much. That should be good now. We got everything clear. So I really just want to be able to get this, because if I can get this out, I'm pretty sure I can get that out of there. I don't want to bend it, but might need to bend it just a little bit. Oh, there we go, perfect. Okay, I have no idea what the other cooler is. This one's hydraulic fluid. That one I have no idea. I'm really kind of tempted just to take a line off to see what's in there, because that's really weird. I'm more curious now than anything, so. I mean, it can't be high pressure, because it's just a little clamp on there. This diesel fuel? It's a fuel cooler? That doesn't make any sense. Why is there a fuel cooler? Is that a thing? I've never heard of that. That seems very weird to me. Nope. I don't understand that. That makes no sense to me, but whatever. It's off. That's very bizarre, but now that's not holding us back, so maybe we can move this a little more. Nope. So this thing is in the way of this top hose, and I can't move it over more because of that. But I'm sure this is some stupid emission thing, that's my guess. But I'm just going to take that bracket off there and get it out of the way, and then I should be able to move that hose over more, or the radiator. Now that that's kind of out of the way, move that over a lot more. Just this, maybe not. Oh, dropping gas out of that. Or diesel, sorry, don't hate me. Squish that might be as old as we can do with that, but we gotta get this over. I do not want to just sit over here. Just sit over here. Need like a bungee cord to hold this over. Very close. That's stuck. That needs that. Alright. It's out. That is out. So now we need to figure out why the other end is stuck, because it's pretty tight in there now. So let's move down there and see what's happening there. Hopefully we don't have to put it back in. I just realized that the bottom of the engine, the oil pan here, is not magnetic. So I don't know what it's made out of, but like the drain bolt is magnetic, but the oil pan is not. So that's very interesting. But anyway, So this is the shield for the cross pipe for the 2 fuel tanks, and there's only 2 bolts holding it on. So I'm going to take that off because that's kind of holding us up here. Hopefully this will fit in here. Nope. And maybe here. Close enough. Okay. Alright. One. And this one. There's actually 2 over here. A nut and a bolt. Easy enough. Where'd the nut go? Alright. Let's get this out of here. It just helped me to see more, I guess, because it wasn't actually hitting that, but man, it's like wedged in here pretty good. And quite honestly, if we took this loader bracket off, it would just come right out. I'm thinking I almost don't have a choice at this point. I think I need to just take that loader bracket off, and honestly, I might just be making a big deal out of nothing. It just seems like a pain because it's huge, but. So what we would need to take off, those 4 bolts there, there's 2 right there, there's 2 down here, there's these 3 here, and I think that's actually all the bolts holding this piece on. But once we get it off, then we have all of these hoses that are going through it. And I mean, I could take this off here so then this bracket could come down, so then we can kind of pull this bracket out away, and honestly we'll be able to pull it out enough that it shouldn't matter then. Yeah, because these are hard lines here, so we don't want, oh, there are 3 bolts right there, not 2. But yeah, these are hard lines, so we're not going to be able to move those even if we undo that bracket. We might need to take this, the 3rd function bracket off as well, because we're going to need to, because this arm here, yeah, that piece right there is not going to move, and this isn't going to move. Yeah, we're gonna have to take this 3rd function. Oh, that's attached to that bolt there, so that'll come off anyway. So we should have enough wiggle room then to pull that off if we take this off too. So I think I'm just gonna do that. Let's just take all those bolts out and we'll go from there. I've gotten everything out except 2 of the bolts. You can see it's loose now. This bolt is so tight, I'm pretty sure that's cross-threaded. This one I'm just leaving in there as kind of a safety so the whole thing doesn't fall, but I don't know what they did to this bolt, but it is so tight in there, and the further out it gets, the tighter it gets, which doesn't make any sense, obviously. So I'm pretty sure it's cross thread, or they used like red Loctite on it or something, but it's messed up in some way. So that's what I've been dealing with, and there's no way to get my impact on it because of all these hoses. So I'm just doing it by hand, and it just killing me. So yep, it finally started to loosen up for me. So let's try to get this out of here. These are just kind of in the way, but not much I can do about that. There's a good chance this is gonna fall once I get it out. I'm not worried about that. I mean, we have it out quite a ways. It's definitely getting looser, but I think we're gonna need to take it all the way off, which we should be able to do because there's nothing really holding it. Alright. It's not cross thread, but it does look like there might be some type of Loctite on there. I don't know. Oh. Alright. So, let me take this one out first. And then, I mean, there's nothing else holding it up. This bracket is not attached, but it has metal or steel lines, so it's not going to flex. We're going to actually have to lift it up over that. Sorry, I forgot to press record. I just took the cover off, and I was going to unplug these, but they both look the same, so I'm going to mark one of them so I know which where it went. I don't think it matters. I think that's actually just for the button on the joystick, so it tells it which way to go, but if you get it backwards and you're used to it one way, it could be annoying, so it's alright. Leave this on here, and those. Oh, there's a shim in between there. Interesting. Alrighty then. Apparently that top bolt wasn't in there anymore. Alright, come out of there, please. Please, get out of there. Alright, well, that's out of the way now. Problem is, I don't think we're going to be able to set it all the way on the floor, even if I wanted to. I really just want to get out and around this bracket and then set it on this bracket. I don't know what's holding that on though. Oh, it's hooked away at the back, but there's not really much support on it. That line's in the way. The line just cannot not be in the way, can it? Easy as pie. Easy as pie. You know, I should put a bolt in here. Okay. At least there's not going to be pressure on that. Alright, I think that's going to be fine. Just leave it like that. And then bam, look. We got it out, that easy. Alright. The one line is out. All because this end cracked right there. Alright, I'm gonna get the paint off there and see what we can see. Alright, I'm using my other camera here so you could hopefully see this better. Yeah. So you can see the little hairline crack right around there. And yeah, this is copper and this is like steel, I assume. And then after this little joint here, this is also steel. So why, I don't understand why they have a little copper section here. It makes no sense to me, but I'm sure there's a reason, I guess. That seems like an obvious failure point. I don't know, it just doesn't make any sense. So you could actually see, like, on the rest of the line, like right here, this section, they missed the paint and it's already starting to rust, which is kind of crazy. So I'm gonna sand this down a little bit, get rid of that rust, and spray some paint on there. So same with right here. This is also rusting because there's no paint on it. That's pretty poor, honestly, because this line to take it off is obviously not easy. So yeah, that's not great. And I'm sure there's a lot of other lines that are like that. So over time, these lines will rust out. And that's pretty annoying, but what are you gonna do? So I think the option we have is, I don't think I need to buy a new one, honestly. I think I can get this brazed back together and put it back on. That's my theory anyway. All right, well, I took this to the local welding shop here, and this is what he was able to do. He just brazed all the way around the whole thing and pretty much went all the way to wherever the copper was on here. So hopefully this will not leak. So he did kind of grind down up here, so I'm hoping that that surface is still flat. He did the same on the other side, so I'm a little worried that that's not going to be flat and not going to seal now, but we will see, I guess. So I think I can actually put this back on the tractor how it is, and I should be able to start it. I'm gonna have to put the fan on and kind of set the radiator back in place so the fan can spin. And then there was one electrical connector right here I need to plug back in. There's some fuel lines for the cooler I need to hook back up. But other than that, I didn't really unplug anything else. Like that air intake tube will be fine. So yeah, I'm just gonna try to hook everything back up real quick before I bolt all the loader stuff back on and everything, and make sure that it works and doesn't leak before I put everything back together. So let's get all this put back on and we'll test it out real quick. I think I got everything hooked back up that needs to be hooked back up. We probably should bleed the fuel real quick. So I'll turn the key on. The fuel pump runs when you turn it on. I'll crack this bleeder screw right here. Make sure we have fuel coming out. All right, so I pretty much figured out exactly what it was that I need to do. You're supposed to loosen that bleeder screw on the top of the filter 2 turns, and then you turn the key switch on and wait for 1 minute, and then you tighten the vent plug back up, and then you try to start it. If it doesn't start, every 30 seconds you try again, and it says don't hold the key on for more than 10 seconds. And you basically just do that until it starts. 1, 2 turns-ish. Perfect. And wait a minute. Alright, that's been a minute. Tighten this back down. Try to start it for 10 seconds. Who would have thought that worked? Let's try turning the wheel here. Gotta bleed a lot of the system out. Doesn't appear to be leaking at all. I'm gonna get everything put back together here, and yeah, I mean, I don't really have much more to do. I put a lot of it together. I just gotta put a bunch more bolts in, loader bracket's probably the most difficult thing because it's hard to hold and put in at the same time, but that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna get all this put back together and then we'll get back out in the field. So I'm probably not gonna video putting everything back together. I am thinking I'm gonna make a little guard for this right here, because I know that can be a problem, and a lot of people in the comments of the last video said that that's a great idea to put a cover there, and I completely agree, because that pump I'm sure is very expensive and these lines are probably expensive, and I just got really lucky the last time. So I'm gonna make something to put under here, and you guys see there's oil dripping here too because hydraulic fluid is everywhere. But anyway, I'm gonna do that. I might fix this little heat shield here because yeah, I bent that in the last video as well. So get everything put back together, make a little shield for that, and then we should be good to go. So I will see you when everything's back together. All right, it's done. It's put back together. I also made a skid plate for under the front for the power steering pump. So I just painted it. That's why I'm holding it like this, but I'm gonna get this bolted on first, and then we should be able to take it back out to the field, and hopefully we can actually get some work done with it. So looking at this shield that I put in here, you can see it's not super thick metal, but it's definitely gonna block anything that's gonna get in there. Yeah, stuff can get like jabbed in here, but I wanted to have, I didn't want to seal it off solid. So there's a little bit gap in the front here and in the back, in case water or something got in there, whatever. And then this folds around on the inside of the frame rail, and then I welded nuts on the inside. So these bolts just screw into those on each side. And yeah, the holes were already there, so I didn't have to drill anything. So that worked out really well. And yeah, I feel way better about that. So I know you guys were all saying that that was a good idea to put a shield there, and I didn't before, but now I am, considering all the troubles I'm having. So now we don't have to worry about that as much. I'm still not going to drive over sticks. This is just a precaution in case I accidentally don't see one, then I have this just in case. I also really should do a front brush guard, just like weld it to the back of this. I don't know why I haven't, and I really should just get some like expanded metal or something and just weld it all in there. I really should just do it, because I know if I hit this grill, I'm gonna be very upset about it, and I just keep putting it off, and I'm gonna regret it eventually. So maybe I can find some mesh somewhere. I could probably get it from the metal store. I actually have to go pick up some metal for another project that will be coming up soon, but maybe I'll just pick up some expanded metal mesh at the same time, because I'm sure that's not cheap to replace. So anyway, all done finally. Everything's back together and working. So let's get out of the field, put the loader on it, and then get back to work. Alright, so I got the hydraulics hooked up. It was a little tricky because two of the lines were really pressurized on the loader side, and there was no way to relieve the pressure. Well, I finally got one of them to go, and then I was able to relieve the pressure, and then they just all went in fine. So now we'll start it up and get it actually on the tractor. Well, unfortunately, I am not going to be able to get back out in the field today, so I've decided to make a grill guard instead, because that's something that needs to be done. And I also noticed this bar right here, I actually have bent down somehow. So we're going to bend that back up, and then we are going to make our own grill guard. I looked at some of the ones that are online for sale that you can buy and bolt on. They were around $400 for a grill guard, and I didn't think any of them actually looked very good. So I bought some perforated metal, and I'm just gonna weld it on there. and it will probably be way stronger than any of those bolt-on ones that you can find. So this is perforated metal. It's not expanded metal because I felt like the gaps on the expanded metal were too big. So I got this perforated metal, and you can see there's just a bunch of little holes stamped in it. But it's about an 1/8 inch thick. So it's pretty solid stuff, and there isn't going to be very big sticks going through those holes. So I thought this was good. And yeah, this is a 2.5 foot by 4 foot sheet, and this was $114. Apparently the perforated metal is very expensive because they have to stamp out every single one of these little holes out of a flat sheet of steel. So it's more expensive, but I think it'll look better and function better in the long run. So that's what we're using. And we're basically going to just be putting it right on the front here like this, cutting it out, and then welding it right to these bars. That's the goal. So when this leans forward, which it's kind of hard to do now because it's not on the tractor. So when this leans forward, you can see where those black lines are is kind of where it folds over. So I can't go weld below that. So the plan is to basically come down to these little black lines here and go straight across, and then go all the way up to this bar here, and we'll weld right to that bar. And then the top we'll just leave. That'll be fine. And then all of this will be encased. And then this we need to bend back up again, and then we'll also weld to that in the center. And then on the bottom, I want to get another piece, and we will weld to the front right here. And then we might actually go up a little higher than the black mark, so they're overlapped. And then we'll go straight across here and then weld along that. And then I was also thinking along the bottom, I might put, if we flip this down, because there is a little hole here on the bottom where a stick could come up through and jab into it. So I was thinking I might put a sheet that comes partially all the way down here to like here. So then you can still get to these holes if you need to. I don't know what these are actually for, but you get to the holes, and then you can also get to these bolts to take them on and off. So we're probably just going to go like down to here and then weld something right there. Alright, so I got this lower one cut out, and I was thinking I really want to have a support across there because it'll be pretty flimsy. So I found this rectangular bar. So I'm going to cut it to length and weld it on the inside of this across here. So that'll give it strength and something to weld to. So this piece will be very strong. And then for the top piece, it's going to actually come down over the top of this one. I think we are pretty much done here. I don't think I'm going to put that bar along the back. I mean, technically a tree could come up through here. I don't know. The likelihood of that happening is pretty slim. And then this bar on the back side of here is very stiff. So technically if it came in there, it's not even a good enough angle to actually hit the grill. So I think we'll be fine. It's obviously way better. Yeah, I got all the welds ground down. Looks pretty decent. The only problem was all of these little holes in the perforations here had rust in them. So all the welds are not great because there was corrosion and contaminants in there. So most of them are decent. I just did a ton of them to make sure it's not gonna fall off. There's no rattling. Like, I don't think it's gonna come loose or anything like that. I had this one right here I spot welded that I needed to take back out to kind of fit it a little better, and it was a huge pain to get off of there. So if that one was really hard to get off, I pretty much did one every ½ inch. So I think this will work out just fine, and I really like how it looks. So let's get this painted and see how it looks. I forgot to do a thing on the bottom, and I put everything away already because I never think I'm gonna use stuff again, and then I end up using it again. All right, Cooper, how do you think it looks? Great. Awesome. All right, so I got my welder back out and I put this plate on the bottom because I feel like that's a very good idea, and yeah, it came out really nice. Those welds ground down really nice. It's nice welding on thick material to thick material. Welding this is kind of a pain because it melts so easy, and this material is like ½ inch thick, so that was a little difficult, but this was a lot easier. And I don't think anything's gonna be getting through that anytime soon. So, all right, I'm gonna wipe it all down with some acetone, get it all cleaned up, and then we will get it primed and painted. All right, it looks like it's all dry now. So let's get this put back on the tractor and see how it looks. Leaves everywhere. Okay. That out. That looks pretty good. Pretty good. I'm actually very happy with that. It doesn't look crazy aftermarket either. It almost looks like it was supposed to be like that. So yeah, the headlights should still go through it fine. I was tempted to paint the back of it like a flat black so it doesn't reflect off of it, but I decided just to go orange right now. I can always paint the back of it black if I do have an issue with that. But sitting from up there, you can only actually see a little bit of this grill anyway, so I don't know. I don't use it at night very often, so we'll see how it goes, but that looks really good. I'm very happy with that. I also made sure all of the holes were horizontal, because that would have bugged me if the whole thing was slightly crooked. But yeah, that looks amazing, and it fits perfect. I can still get to everything. This lever I have to go around back to undo now, but that's really not an issue. But yeah, that works perfect. Oh man, that looks so good. I'm very happy with that. And we got that skid plate underneath now. You can see right there. It's a nice skid plate. So once again, we have a bunch of skid plates under the front now. So hopefully that'll protect everything. But yeah, I think that's it. So this video is probably super long now, especially with repairing that hard line. So once again, not really going to be working in the field. We got a little bit of a glimpse in the beginning of the video, but yeah, I guess there'll be another video with working in the field where we hopefully don't break down. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.